All right, hello. This video is going to go over the Twitter followers program. So you can see kind of the basic directions here. We're going to be, making Twitter, but not all of it, just parts that allow you to add and remove followers. And you'll have starter code. So you want to download this file and then get the code into Eclipse or whatever editor. And then you're basically going to follow along with this video, but then kind of look for like where it says add code. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through parts of it, but obviously, so basically we're going to be coding this together, right? But I really want you to stop and try it and not just watch me do the code. Okay, so before we get too far into it, I want to show you just what the completed thing should look like, just to give you a better idea of what we want the program to do. So I'm going to run, and then there's like a menu, and so there's already some followers in there. So if I hit 1, that'll just display my followers. All right. All right, and then we can like add and remove followers. So I'm gonna just add a follower, and I'm gonna say that Biden is not following me, of course. So I want to display the followers, and now I can see the other followers are in there. And then I could remove one, so I'm gonna hit number 3, and then I'm just gonna take out. I think Reagan has died. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm gonna take out Reagan out of my followers since he probably really can't follow me anymore. Now I'm gonna display him again. I can see that I have some living presidents following me now, and then 4 just quits. Okay, so basically we're scrolling the menu, keep going, and then when you hit 4, then the program ends. Okay, so that gives you a picture of what we want it to look like at the end. So inside of the Twitter follows, you can see here's the array list of strings that tracks the followers, and that's how we get our initial 3 followers. Okay, and then our choices, I just made them final ints. So instead of having like 1, 2, 3, 4, I just made these words so they're a little bit easier to read. So we can say that like the default choice here is going to be to display the menu. No, display the followers. Sorry, not display the menu, display the followers, because we can display, add, remove, or quit. Okay, and so basically here's our loop. And so you have to put the right condition here, right? So we want to keep going while something is true, and then this will just get their choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these choices. And then we'll have another method that processes their choice, which takes in that choice number and the array list, right? So what do you think would be the while condition here? Pause the video and write the code. All right, so basically, if you look back to how this ran, right, we want it to keep going until they hit quit, right? So basically, this loop should be while their choice is not equal to quit. And quit is 4, but I'm going to use this variable name here. So say basically while they haven't chosen quit, display the menu and process their choice. Just keep doing that over and over again. All right, and it will enter this loop because our choice starts off as display, so it will enter in there and then display the menu right away. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going down and finding the parts that say add code. The next one is process choice. Okay, and so you can see that's this method here. And we have 2 inputs. One is the int that's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4, representing their choice. All right, this menu, I think, let's see if this is, yeah, that's actually already done for us. So it displays the menu and scans their choice and then returns that in. All right, so they're going to do 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so anyways, we have to do the process choice. That's going to be an int coming in 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then we also have the array list of followers. All right, and so basically, this is just like a intersection or junction box, or like a like a like a panel, or not a panel, but a code that splits us down one of our 4 paths. Right, actually one of our 3 paths, because quit is just gonna quit. But if they do one to display, add, or remove, then we want to send it to sub methods. Okay, so this is just kind of like a big level one that just takes the choice and then calls either display followers, add follower, or remove follower. Okay, so pause the video and see if you can think about the heading. Here's how it's called. Think about the heading and then start to do some coding. Okay, so I'm going to do public static void, and I'm going to call it process choice. Okay, and then I'm going to take in int their choice, and then an array list of strings. So I'm going to do array list, bracket, bracket, string, called followers. You call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it followers. All right, so it's going to pass it in. Okay, and then all we need, that's the heading, right? That's how it's being called here. And then all I need to do is do a big if. So basically, if the choice is equal to display, right, then I'm going to call display followers. All right, and I'm going to guess, like, I haven't written this method yet. Oh, it's down here. Here's actually the headings. So display followers, add follower, and remove follower, all of those take in the array list of strings. Okay, so I don't need the choice anymore, right? Because I'm using the choice in this method. So I'm just going to call display followers, and this is the array list that I want to display. Those are the followers I want to display. And then I'm going to do else if choice equals add. That's another thing that can happen. Then we just call that method. So add follower to this array list. So I think I named it right, calling the add follower method. All right. And then we can do else if, hopefully you got the idea at this point. The final thing it could be is remove. What did it? Oh yeah, okay. All right, and then I'm just going to call remove follower from this array list. All right, and so this is just a big processing, like an intersection that sends the traffic or the code in different directions, right? And we could maybe do an else here, like if they didn't do one of these things, like display an error or something like that. We certainly could do that. You could do like an else, please enter 1 to 4 or something like that. If they entered something goofy. Okay, but anyway, so that's it for that method. And now I'm going to go to the display followers. And so it just basically has this array list of followers. And I want to loop through the array list of followers and display each one in the list using either enhanced for loop or regular loop. So again, pause the video and see if you can write this method. All right, so I think this one, the way I did it, so let's look back here. The way I did it here, if they display the followers, it does have the little numbers next to them, which would be a little bit hard with an enhanced for loop because you don't have the index, right? So I'm probably going to use a regular loop, and this I'm going to do their name, but I'm also going to do the number and a dot. And this has to be one more than the index, because remember, Obama would be at index 0, Reagan would be at 1, Bush would be at 2. So I'm going to do like an IDX plus 1 there, I plus 1 when I display it. Okay, so that's the idea. So I'm just going to loop through them, and I'm going to use a regular loop again. So I'm going to do for int I equals 0, I is less than followers dot size. So we just say less than the size of the array list, plus I. Okay, and then I'm going to get the follower. So I want to do string follower equals followers dot get the ith one. Okay, and then I'm going to system out print it with a number. So I'm going to do the number, which is I, but I'm going to do I plus 1, right? Because I want it to be one more, plus a period, maybe period and a space, plus the name of the follower, which I just called follower. Okay, and that should display it with this being one more. And the reason why I do this is it's useful for the remove, right? When you remove, I remove based on the number. Even though I guess you wouldn't have to do that. You could remove based on the name too. I guess you could do it however you want. But anyways, let's see if this works. So I'm going to do display followers, right? And I got the little numbers there. And if you didn't do the numbers, it's probably not the end of the world, but looks like that's working. I can see if the quit works, and it looks like that works. So we've got the basics going here. We have our process choice method, which just sends it down the different paths. We've got the while loop working, and we've got the display followers working. So next one is add follower. Okay. So I'm going to read. Purpose is this to add a follower. Start by doing a print and asking the user to enter a name of the new follower, then scan the response and store it in a variable, and then add it to the array list. So our goal ultimately is to add a string to that array list. Okay, so I'm just going to system out print. Please enter the name of new follower. All right, prompting them. And then when I use the scanner is a global variable, so we can use it all over. Okay, so I'm going to do string new follower equals scan dot next. I'm going to probably do next line. And then I'm just going to add it. So I'm going to do followers dot add new follower. Okay, and so I'm a huge believer in like testing the code as you go. So before I keep going, I'm going to make sure that this works. I'm going to run it. Right, I'm going to do our display followers, and then I'm going to choose number 2 to add, and I'm going to do Taylor Swift. She's a big fan of mine, so I'm going to add her. So I'm going to, oh, no, that did not work. Interesting. So it asked for the new name of the follower here, but then it automatically like scanned already, and now it's displaying the menu, and it's going to want me to enter an int. So I think I know what's going on here. Shoot. I should have put this in the code originally, but down here, when it reads off the int, it should have a scan dot next line. That would clear it out. I might have already added that. I might fix this code and add it, so you might not have to do that. You might not have the same problem as me, but basically when they enter an int, it just has a number and then there's a return on the end, and so you have to clear that off so that the next thing can be scanned. So that'll allow me when I do this, when I do add a follower, now it doesn't, automatically read on this line because it already cleared off the return. So now let's see if I can do Taylor Swift, and then now I'm going to display the followers and see. Okay, it's working good there. All right, I think I'm going to stop here. We still got to do remove follower, but I'm going to wait and do it in a second video just because I kind of ran out of time on this one. So thanks for watching.